Very bramble. Hello, everybody. We're live. CitizenCon day 2, and well, I'm not sure what they're going to reveal. And teased us a little bit with the Banu Merchantman yesterday, for no reason at all, or for maybe a reason. Maybe we find out today. Maybe tomorrow on day 3. Why is day 3 on a Monday? We've got the facial tracking going. Doesn't look super creepy today. Just a little creepy. Yes. Yes, a little creepy. Actually, it's pretty good. I'd say so. Oh, hey, they're live.
Hi, everybody.
Mm-hmm.
We made it. CitizenCon day 2. How's my mic? Is this where you want it, Anthony? Is this good? We were given notes after yesterday. I'd apparently had the mic too far from my mouth, and Dan was like, so they said split the difference. So we're gonna see what we can improve today. Hi, everybody. I'm Jared. I'm the creative content lead for Cloud Imperium Games and Robert Space Industries. And as I said, welcome to CitizenCon Day 2. As one astute user on social media put it, yesterday we laughed, we cried, we doubled our dogs. On day 2, we're bringing a whole new slew of presentations for you to enjoy. But before we get to the programming of today, it's been 4 years since we've done a CitizenCon, a live event like this, and it may have gone under the radar with the pandemic and missing a year. This is actually the 10th anniversary of CitizenCon and the 10th CitizenCon we've done. So I wanted to take some time. Here on the pre-show, where I can do pretty much anything I want, and shout out some of the pioneers who came before us to make this event what it is today. So CitizenCon actually started, the very first one was back in 2013, back in the Alamo Roadhouse in Austin, and it was the brainchild of Sandy Gardner, Ben Lesnick, and Pete Mackey. Now, it was in a little theater. Down in downtown Austin, and it was, for some, it was an excuse to watch the Wing Commander movie in front of a crowd and in a big theater. But for others, it was the birth of our annual convention and the introduction of Aaron Roberts and the Foundry 42 team at that time to the CIG family. It started out small, had some humble beginnings, but over the years it's evolved into this massive undertaking that we have this year. In 2014 and 2016, CitizenCon was here in Los Angeles at the Avalon Theater, just in downtown. At 2014, we introduced the vision for the persistent universe, which was not yet playable. Arena Commander had only come just earlier that year. And in 2016, we followed up on those procedural planets with a visit down to the planets and the introduction of the Sandworm. And Sean Tracy, if you're watching, when my Sandworm, man?
Agreed.
Can we hear
Where's
it?
the damn
When my
Sandworm?
man?
Totally. I want to know where it is too.
He goes on stage in the first presentation. He's probably not happy right now. Between those 2 years in LA, we took our first trip to Manchester and the what was it called? The Runway Visitor
Not
Park,
wrong.
which was presented underneath a glorious Concorde, fantastic aviation craft that our chat users at the time really thought we had built a giant spaceship for this stage. I can remember sitting in the chat and like, no, that's not a spaceship. That's the Concorde. Get a calendar from 1988. It was like January. 2017 was where things started changing. 2017 was where we started to adopt the format that you see here today. It was our first trip to Frankfurt in the Avalon Theater, where we started breaking apart multiple presentations, multiple teams. We started really diving into the depths of Star Citizen's development. After the first several years of building up, having to build 4 studios around the world and lay the groundwork, CitizenCon had evolved to becoming the true showcase that it is today, and showing you as many different aspects of our development as possible. but it reached its final form in 2018. Going back to Austin at the Long Convention Center, Long Center in Austin, that's where CitizenCon exploded. 2 tracks, 2 competing theaters of presentations, the mocap stage. We introduced the Xi'an language, which changed Chris Harrow's life forever. Shout out to Chris Harrow if you're watching. And then in 2019, the biggest CitizenCon we had at the time back in Manchester,
Trains here.
which parallels what we're doing today. Huge screens, huge exhibitions, huge panels, huge discussions, huge reveals. I'm sure we all remember that Carrick trailer. Yeah, that was a pretty big one. Also, it was a Carrick ice sculpture that didn't melt all day. I lost $50 on that. I got 5 minutes? Oh, good. Sorry, the person in my ear.
It's got 5 minutes.
Guys, I've never done a day 2 before. I'm running on fumes. How are you guys feeling?
All right. Well, yeah, sure. We'll get excited when we see something worth getting excited about.
I do want to take this time. So, like I said, CitizenCon started from humble beginnings, the birth child of Sandy, of Ben, of Pete Mackey back in the day. It's evolved over the years with many stewards, Eric Kyron Davis, David Roth, our stewards this year. They're going to hate me for shouting them out. Leah and Tyler, please give them a huge round of applause for Leah and Tyler, who have driven this year's event and made it everything that you guys hear live and in the theater. I've seen Hall B. Jeez, I hope you've seen Hall B during the interstitials between the panels if you're watching from home. Leah and Tyler have kicked the ball out of the park. I mixed my metaphors there. I wonder what I'm going to be like at the end of the day. Let's go into the day's programming, shall we? So in just a few minutes, at the top of the hour, we've got Ian Leyland, Sean Tracy, Forrest Steffen, and Sean Tracy again for character advancement. They're going to show you some of the latest advancements in our character tech. You saw, and Andre. Don't want to forget Andre. You're going to love Andre. Sorry, Andre. You saw a little bit of it in the Star Engine presentation yesterday. It's going to explode. And they're going to show you the full potential of that work for the star hair and the star cloth and the facial stuff and the clothes stuff. You're not going to want to miss that. Life in the first person is a look at the first-person existence in our Star Citizen's first-person universe. It's not just FPS combat. It's how you interact with the universe around you, and a lot of improvements I think many of you are going to appreciate. Then Taking Flight, Yogi and Diego and Inez and the team there are going to be here for another live demo where they play the game and show you the amazing master mode and flight changes that have come from their work on Squadron 42 that are being brought over to Star Citizen. We're going to break for lunch again, 2 o'clock. Get your lunch. It's a long day. Then finally, 2-part
Oh no, their audio keeps cutting out.
environment and gameplay summit here with Living on the Edge and Destination Adventure, where we're going to go through a bunch of the new locations that are coming to both Stanton and the Pyro system. You're going to want to check those out. And for those who are here,
your vehicle has been
be in your seats. If you have a chance to be anywhere, be in your seats as those presentations progress. I can't tell you why, but you'll thank me later. And then, of course, at around 5 o'clock thereof, timings, Chris Roberts will return to the stage for his closing remarks, his closing ceremonies, and you're not going to want to miss that. So that's our day's festivities. With that, I'm going to throw it over to Dan. He's back in Hall B. Dan, I hope you have more energy than me. Take it away, buddy.
Thanks, Jared. It's good to see you guys back at CitizenCon Day 2, CitizenCon 2953 at the Los Angeles Defense Center. So many awesome things yesterday. We saw the server meshing panel. We saw people experience Pyro for the first time. We saw the community booths behind me, which we'll get to in a second. So many awesome things yesterday. I remember it like it was yesterday. What's that? We don't have the graphics budget for the extended flashback sequence. We have to move on. Okay, we're moving on. Well, welcome again. My name is Dan Halbrick. I'm the community producer here at CIG. Welcome you all to the show floor here at Hall B, the Los Angeles Convention Center. We have so many awesome things to show you guys today, whether they community booths, we'll be talking to content creators, we'll be talking about JRDF stuff, or, you know, things will go long and maybe we'll talk about some of it. Who was that strange leprechaun of a man? So many colorful characters here at CIG. Sometimes I regret being his producer, but there's no job security otherwise, so I guess here's where I am. At least he makes it easy for me. So here we have the community booth. Here we have the community booths. We're gonna get right into it. People here now talking to the corporation. Excuse me, guys. We're gonna have a quick chat with the corporation if you guys don't mind. Welcome, everyone. This is the corporation. Now, these are one of the biggest orgs in the game. They're friendly to newbies. They have this really immersive scavenger hunt. So we're gonna get into it. Welcome, guys. So can you tell me, what's the main focus of the corporation?
The corporation is a friendly environment for people to have game sessions regularly, to have a good community, to encourage more people to play Star Citizen, and for us to explore all sorts of sessions, that everything from racing to combat to just creating a better environment for Star Citizen players, and we look forward to its release so that we can have a wonderful exploration of the universe.
Awesome, that's a great answer. So I hear you guys have a really immersive scavenger hunt you guys are doing for everyone on the show floor. Can you guys tell me a little bit about the scavenger hunt you guys are doing here at CitizenCon?
So, one and trade with them to have 3 of the same color. We are entering you in a raffle for a vulture tonight, as well as a raffle for our pyro plushies, and a couple other little surprises if you come by and say hello.
Well, guys, be sure to come by and say hello. The corporation are, again, one of the oldest orgs in Star Citizen. They are a staple of the game, and we're so happy to have them here. If you guys are wondering, these community booths are all different orgs that represent a variety of facets of the game. Each of them brings something new and unique to the table, and it's why they are the backbone of the show floor here. They help represent the community, which is you guys. Now, here we have Equinox. What's up, guys? Hi, I'm looking for you. How's it going, man? So, you know, you guys are focused on these massive immersive LAN party events. I mean, if you guys haven't seen one of these Equinox events, they are amazing. If there's one in your hometown, you'd be fools to not check them out. We sent CIG folks to them this year. They had an amazing time. So what are you guys doing here on the show floor? What are you guys talking about?
So here we want to make the next sign up and get the word out. That's what the Lego model is here for, to help bring attention to it. It'll maybe at the next event. We have Vanguard over there, the large org. They're helping us run events, racing, fighting. We give out prizes.
Yeah, let's talk about this Lego sculpture. So this is an awesome Lego sculpture that you guys made. First off, where was this during Battle of the Bricks? And second off, how long did this take you guys to make? This is amazing.
The first question is, I just built this 19 days ago. And for Battle of the Bricks, I built a Scorpius and took an updated version to last LAN party at the Equinox. What was the other question? How long did it take to build?
Yeah, how long did it take to build?
About 120 hours, 19 days.
So that's like, you know, an average session Star Citizen sometimes, yeah. So no gaming at all. So I think you answered a little bit, but what can people expect from Equinox in 2024?
Equinox, you bring your own PC, a lot of computers to pick from, big swag bags, and a lot of... We haven't pegged out specifically yet, but like last time we had racing, PvP, fist fighting in Origin, jump, or 890 jump.
Just some rich people boxing. You love to see it. Well, thank you guys. If you guys are here on the show floor, again, come check out Equinox. Come check out this Lego sculpture. It's the coolest thing I've seen in probably 5 minutes. I have a very short attention span. We're going to be making our way now over to the Walkers of Sigma. Now, these guys are the forefront security org of Star Citizen. These guys provide security for major events like the Daymar Rally. They are the forefront runners, like I said, of security. So how's it going, guys?
Happy to be here.
Happy to be here. I love that. So how do players or other orgs go about requesting security from you guys? What's the process for, like, getting the Walkers of Sigma to be security?
Sure, absolutely. The best way to get a hold of us is to join our Discord. You can go stop by our booth and pick up a business card where you have our Discord link on the back of.
That's awesome. This looks phenomenal. Look at that. Here you go. I'm going to have you hold that for a second. So what's it like running security for things like Daymar? Like, obviously, that's a huge operation. There has to be so much that goes into it. What's it like running security for it?
So running security can be both very stressful and also at the same time a little boring. You're going to have some of those servers, you're securing roughly 15 different servers for something like the Daymar Rally. So some servers might not see any action at all, and you're just kind of sitting there hoping and cheering on your favorite racer. But there are other servers that can be super chaotic and are nonstop bombarded by outside forces. And those are the ones you really have to keep your eye on, make sure they have enough people to secure as many people as possible, and get any reinforcements if needed.
Yeah, that sounds like a logistical nightmare, but luckily they have the Walkers of Sigma to help make it all possible. So, kind of last question. Jared and other people have been harassing me throughout the convention. How do I get you guys to follow me around?
I actually have one of my best guys, branch officers. He's going to keep you nice
and secure. Come follow me, guys. Feel on top of the world. We're finally... we're going to go to other community-based gamers. Now, we talked about them. Yes, guys are the forefront, using that word, makers of gaming technology, whether they're Star Citizen people alike. You know that.
Hi, how are you?
Doing great. So, I don't know if you guys know this. Every single monitor in the LA studio is an Asus monitor. Yeah. Like, we love you guys, and I think the same is probably true for the other studios. What kind of stuff do you think people can expect from Asus in 2024?
So actually, we do have some new products coming out in 2024, and actually towards the end of this year, we do have this beautiful OLED that's coming out.
Let's take a look at that really quick. Dang, that is a nice monitor. Look at that. Yeah, that's going to be some quality. So you guys have that coming out in 2024. Anything else players can expect?
So we actually launched our C790 refresh motherboard as well. That's compatible with the 14th gen recently. Yeah, that's pretty much it we have this year.
I mean, that's going to be amazing. And my final question, what was it like to bring Pyro to people for the first time?
I think it's great. I actually hope everyone enjoyed the peripheral and the monitors that we provide to you guys. So yeah, it's a great experience working with you guys too.
Yeah, everyone I talked to had a great time. Well, I think that's all the time we have. I'm going to cut it back to Jared. You guys are going to see some awesome presentations today. We'll see you back here on the show floor later. Until then, stay safe and see you in the verse.
Thanks, Dan. I'm here in the hallway audience. How you doing, everybody? I've not spoken one word to this individual next to me. Hi, individual next to me. Who are you?
Hello, Jared. My name is Jack.
Hey, Jack. What do you do in the verse?
Salvage.
Do you like it?
I love it.
Are you good at it?
I'm good at it.
Humble sort, huh?
Very.
Would you say you're the humblest person you know?
Possibly.
Could there be someone more humble than you?
Probably.
Never mind. All right. So a couple more housekeeping things. As Dan said, Asus is one of our amazing partners here to make this event possible. We also want to shout out our teams at IX Systems. They helped build the amazing server technology that we're using in the Pyro Playground. We are not connected to the internet. We have our entire environment replicated here. It's back there. You should go check it out. Talk to those guys there. What Ahmed and that team at IX has done is fantastic, and they've allowed us to run the Pyro Playground at 60 frames a second with the best server stuff possible. It's like we're all like, oh, this is what's possible with this game. It's really exciting. I also want to shout out VKB, who have been amazing at helping us with the control surfaces for the Fight or Flight exhibition going on at the Atmo booth. Be sure you go by there and check that out. And then, of course, CLX. The custom computer maker who made all 150 computers for the Pyro Playground, the 2 computers that are operating on stage, the box that's running this live stream right now. I can be out here, it's there, I don't have to worry about it. So thank you to all of our partners, and I feel like I'm missing one, and I expect to hear about it from Tyler later on. I didn't bring my cards. So, yeah. You know, when do we start? We start at 11? We got 5 minutes. How should we fill the time?
I want to see the Kraken. Show me the Kraken. Kraken!
All right. Okay. So here's what we're going to do. Back in 2013, we attempted to sing Star Citizen Happy Birthday.
No.
And at that time, there was a weird legal kerfluffle. It was believed that the stream got muted because we sang Happy Birthday on stage, and Twitch automated content said, no, don't. It's our birthday. It's a little late. It's also Jake Acapella's birthday, so if all of you would join me in a rousing edition of Happy Birthday, we're gonna test the stream gods and see if we don't get muted. So ready? All right, everybody. 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday.
Birthday, dear Star Citizen.
Happy birthday to you. All right, with that, we're going to take a break. Hang out, get your last drinks, get your last snacks, everybody. The show's starting in about 10 minutes with our character advancement panel right there on stage. So stay tuned. If you like day one, we've got more to come, everybody. Take care. We'll see you in a bit.
Please welcome to the stage. Intro. Disco! Woo-hoo! Wow! He also had caffeine in the last 10 minutes. Welcome to CitizenCon Day 2, everybody! Are you pumped? Are you psyched? Have you eaten 2 dogs? Get in your seats. It's about to start, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Day 2. I'm not going to take up any more of your time. Up first, character advancement with Ian, Sean, Forrest, Andre. Give it up. Bone, start the show.
Hello there. Hey everyone, it's so good to see you all again in person. Thanks for coming out. So I'm Ian, I'm the art director for Star Citizen. We're going to kick off the first ever Day 2 of CitizenCon by talking about some of the awesome work done by the character team.
Target destroyed.
All right. So first let's talk about life in a frontier system like Pyro and how this influences the character designs. So we wanted to create something unique compared to what we've seen in Stanton already. We wanted to give a wider visual palette and a feeling of historical age between the different solar systems. So this chart describes the fashion pillars for humanity. We can see where all suits, armors, and fashion items should belong. In terms of material use, manufacturing technology, and novelty. So you can see Earth fashion on the left, Terra fashion on the right, and Frontier fashion right in the middle with a little bit of overlap of Earth. So essentially, Frontier fashion is function over form. They are repurposed and repaired, and generally are misfits rather than sets. Outfits are purposeful by having storage solutions. This implies survivability along the frontier. Okay, let's take a look at some of these assets in the game.
Bottom drive is now off.
Awesome. So hopefully you guys that played Pyro Playground, you will have seen a few of those assets being showcased. So as we saw from the video, pouches and storage are a key part of the Frontier aesthetic. This drives the feeling of survivability. But from here, we thought it'd be really cool to give the functionality, but also some customization options. So let's take a look at a video we just developed internally, and this is for modular storage items on the player.
Okay.
Last chance. Comply or else.
Shields hit.
Imagine getting pulled over by a cop and then you're getting attacked and the cop's like, nah, you stay still. I'm writing you a ticket. Don't mind him, I'll get to him next. Nice, I got an assist.
Pretty cool, right? So I think this will provide loads of customization options in the future. We're super happy about that. So we also created some extreme weather costumes for Frontier locations, and these also follow the same mismatched and repurposed design aesthetics. Now we've also been focusing on achieving a higher visual benchmark. So this is all driven by our new Layer Blend V2 shader and its texture library. And we focused on more consistent wearing between 0 and 100% values. So to showcase this, let's look at a quick example asset.
Interesting, so you can take stuff off of them.
Okay. 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 Okay.
Where are these bogies that it keeps talking about?
Okay. Okay. Okay.
All right. So as we saw in the video, the insides of the helmets are looking fantastic. Now this is us getting them ready to animate with put on and take off. So in summary, Frontier Fashion is expanding the visual design palette for humans, giving a more credible feeling of age and history when you travel across multiple solar systems. All right, now let's talk about something different. Now we're going to talk about some of the gangs in Star Citizen. So Ninetales have been one of the main gangs in the game. So far, over 105 million have been taken out by you guys. So you guys have been busy, great job, all right. So it was like, all right, now we're gonna need to introduce a few more factions to the game, okay? So the first faction we're gonna talk about is Rough and Ready. So the aesthetic of the gang was to be subtle. They're understated in terms of clothing, and they almost blend into their environment. On closer inspection, you'll notice their tattoos. These signify rank and progression within the gang. Let's take a look at a quick video.
How's it going, Nightfall?
Quantum drive is now on. Quantum drive is now on.
I think they look absolutely fantastic. Okay. So the rough and ready can be found in some of the space stations around Pyro. Now the tattoos, like I said, the tattoos form a progressive design. This illustrates the hierarchy within the gang. As a player, you'll be able to earn these tattoos and apply them to your character. Okay, cool. The next gang we're going to talk about is Headhunters. So this gang is also located in Pyro, but offers a completely different frontier aesthetic. More of a wasteland vibe with lots of personality, and this will translate into the behavior types. Now this gang is currently in production, but let's take a quick sneak peek.
Okie. Okie.
Okay, so cosplay competition next year. I can't wait to see what you guys come up with. All right. All right, so they're looking awesome. Now the last gang we want to talk about is Dusters. So Dusters are a criminal gang specializing in mining-related crimes. Now internally, I love the original Desert Nomad armor. You can see in here, right? Now I wanted to use it as a starting point to establish the Dusters design language. So here we can see the Dusters gang lineup, showing armor leveling and rarity. So as a player, you'll have horizontal armor progression. This will define your role and playstyle. Then you'll have vertical progression. This is your progression within that role and playstyle. For example, a common bounty hunter armor set, and as armor progresses in so harder mission, reputation. Sets, let's recap a little, is that players should consider, based on the role they wish to fill, heading into types. So light, medium, and heavy, and this will be in protection and mobility. New armor categories will be combat, specialist, utility, and support. And these will define the type of items that are quickly available on the slots of the suit. There will also be additional functionality to assist in your chosen role. A matrix of armor type versus category will provide a variety of roles, with each providing best-in-class benefits. There will also be hindrances to out-of-role gameplay. For example, if you're wearing a heavy armor set and you're trying to fly a little snub fighter, you'll have restricted visibility and less vehicle control. So in this scenario, like a flight suit armor type with resistance to milder G-forces would be preferred. Okay. So as we saw in Ali's presentation yesterday, hygiene simulates and tracks the accumulated effects of a character going unwashed for any length of time. Poor hygiene can lead to disease, lowered health, and snarky comments. Hygiene decays faster if the character becomes dirty or wears dirty clothing or armor, and visual effects are going to be displayed on the character's skin, such as blood, sweat, and dirt. Certain usables, such as a shower, will reset the character's hygiene and clean away all of those dirt effects. So let's keep clean. Yeah. Okay, so that covers a quick recap on armor sets and hygiene. Let's get back to a video showcasing the dusters. Awesome. So you'll be able to find the dusters scattered around various derelict settlements and wrecks in Stanton, and the dusters will be available Q4 this year. And with that, I'll hand you over to Sean Tracy. You guys have been awesome. Enjoy the rest of your show.
Hello, everyone. All right, so I'm Sean Tracy. I'm the Senior Director of Tools and Tech Content here at Cloud Imperium Games in Los Angeles. So today, I want to talk about Starcloth. And Starcloth was initially unveiled at a previous CitizenCon, kind of in an early stage. So it's now rolled into full production, and it's used in both Squadron 42 and Star Citizen. So it's going to be seen on more and more assets, like some of the great art that you just saw. So what's really cool about it is that it's unified with the physical world, whereas before it wasn't unified and was based completely on character movement. Now, it's faster than the previous cloth setups, and in the end, it just looks a whole lot better. So today, I'm going to cover some of the tech, the pipeline, and we'll see some results. So let's get and see it in action. Trench coat. Cloth is hard. Guys have to run upstairs, they have to crouch, they have to prone, it's got to collide with the environment. And even more difficult, it needs to hold up in high-end cinematics.
Quantum drive is now on.
Cut that one just before some good spoilers, so. Yeah. All right, so how's it all work? Well, cloth uses two meshes, a simulation mesh or cage, and the render mesh itself. So vertex colors indicate how it's constrained to that cage, and thus the simulation. So for example, black vertex colors indicate a full constraint. Basically, it follows the skinning. White vertex colors indicate unconstrained vertices. So the movement is determined entirely by the simulation. And then we can do a blend of gray values that is used for fine transitions and blending the fall off in between the fully skinned and fully simulated assets. So in the end, these meshes are sent to the engine where we bind the cage to the render mesh, and then tech artists can leverage some of the runtime tools. You can see up on the image that the sim cage mesh has about 5,000 triangles, whereas the actual render mesh is about 45,000 triangles. So it's obviously much more efficient to simulate the sim cage mesh versus just the render mesh itself. So part of the technology is the runtime iteration support, which you can see in the image above me here. That's with all the red spheres. Here we're actually painting the collision radius of every single one of the vertices, and it allows us to fine-tune the simulation without having to add arbitrary collision meshes, though we can. We paint a variety of properties, so some of these other properties are mass or displacement. In the top right, you can see an example of the old legacy implementation using pendulums. And this uses joint chains and collisions. But assets with multiple layers, like the one that you can see there, or ones like skirts or gowns, they were really, really difficult to do with pendulum simulation, but they are solved with StarCloth. So I mentioned it's completely unified with the physical world. And what that really means is that wind, impacts, object collisions, thruster backwash, all these kind of things actually react to the cloth reacts to these things, and so much more. So it's not just character movement. Now, it's a hyper-efficient simulation, and it's several orders of magnitude faster than the legacy implementation that we used before, and has a lot of easy-to-control parameters for tech art, which are compression, stretching, and bending. So as mentioned yesterday by Chris Rain, our senior lead physics programmer, we support soft-body tapered capsules, which are twice as fast as our ragdoll capsules. It's also key to solving one of the most important aspects of plausible cloth simulation, and that's mitigating the tunneling or the clipping that happens through a character. So it's very, very difficult to solve with pendulums. So with all this tech in mind, we can do really complicated assets like the Duster and the one I want to show you now. So here you're seeing about 5 different layers of cloth going on and self-colliding between each other.
Takeoff complete. Landing complete.
It's reacting to the planet wind, which is always changing. On the front, there's a big leather apron. So this one's actually a lot heavier, and it moves a lot differently than the cloth on the back. So he's walking into the wind here. And in the end, as I mentioned, it just looks a whole lot better. So with that, I want to hand you off to my friend, Andre Piers, who's going to talk about hair.
Thank you, man. Hi, everyone. So, nice to be here in LA with all you guys. So, I want to start with a question, okay? How many of you are actually excited that we're getting new hair into the verse? All right. So, I'm Andre. I'm the lead artist in our recently formed hair department. We branched out from the character art team and created this department. And it's a pleasure to be here today with all of you and tell you that we're damn proud of what we achieved. It's been a long road, but definitely worth it, okay? Now, we're going to start by just looking at the most impactful changes that we have in our workflow, okay? A bit of a technicality part. Then you're going to get to look at the benchmark assets we have created, okay? And from there, we're going to take a glimpse into the future of what hair could be with a more diverse hairstyle, where we're trying to run away a little bit from the military look that was driven mostly by what Squadron 42 was, so because we did a lot of work for that as well. And yeah, from there, as a last note, I'll have a special announcement for you guys, okay? Don't want to spoil it, but you stick around, you're going to love what we have, okay? So, first thing I want to touch on, very simply, okay? Hair for games is hard. It's really hard. Oh, by the way, did I tell you these are actually game-ready assets in the persistent universe?
Okay, that's pretty cool.
Fully rendered in our
Actually,
engine, okay?
decent
Game-ready,
hair.
performant, ready to be shipped, okay? So, hair is really hard, like I was saying. It is a AAA challenge, basically. You see games that get it, games that don't. Some of them get it more or less. Either way, for us the challenge is the same. We're not different, and the challenge is real. With the scope of Star Citizen, like day-night cycles, all these light shafts, all this MMO, people running around with the hairs, a lot of motion, a lot of fast-paced movement. Yeah, it is hard. But the best thing is, we have arrived, okay? It is, yeah, class. It is, it doesn't end here, okay? Yeah. It does not end here, okay? It's the nature of CIG. We just keep pushing the boundaries, but like I said, we're really proud of what we're showing you here today. So let's dive in what we made all this possible, okay? On a high note, on a high level, basically, a successful hair requires 3 fundamental elements, okay? There's the texture, there's the placement, and there's also the shader. If one of these elements fails, all of them do. Okay, so it's basically, you can have a great texture, great placement. If your shader is wrong, no go, really. And the same if the texture fails or if the placement fails. So really vital, really important that everything works together. But the good thing is, by breaking down the hair into these 3 parts, it also allows us to actually go deep into each of them and push the quality up. Or like Chris Roberts would say, bring the high fidelity, right? So, on the texture end, there was a lot of changes. What you see on the top there, the common approach of a AAA game would be to have true black, true white on a transparency map, a bit of taper on the tips and roots, and call it a day. That's what happens in 99% of the games. Now at CIG, we went a bit further than that. We tested all the thicknesses that were actually reasonable to test, of course, and we came to a realization. The hair doesn't need to be thin enough. It just needs to look thin. We do need it to be thicker enough, thicker than real life hair, because if you take one of your hairs, you'll see it's really thin, right? So it does need to be renderable. That means if it's really thin, it will be subpixel rendered at some point. With the motion and all that, we will get a lot of artifacts. And so that would be a no-go. We do need it to be thicker than in real life. But can we make it look thin? That was the question. So we came to the realization that from hair, or from scalp to hair, and from hair to the background, so these 2 points, the transition points, are the most important ones for the hair. So we aggressively tapered the tips, which is what you see over there, and added a gradient to it. So no longer true black and true white. Now, this is a lot of technicality. You'll see practical examples of this, but that allowed us to have smooth transitions and basically achieve the result we expected. On the placement side, we came up with hair libraries, basically. Now, I could be here all day talking about hair libraries, okay? Because I'm a very technical person, and if you see me around the venue, feel free, I'm Andre. You can just come and talk to me about this. I'm not going to bother you all that for 1 hour about this, but I'm going to give you a very quick example that you all can relate. So, imagine in real life, you have a construction business, and you could make one wall, one roof, one floor, and one window. You make it all work together, and from there, you're not only building your house, you're actually building the whole town, and then the whole state, and then eventually the whole universe, right? That's what air libraries are. Obviously, the result, if you could do that, it would be much cheaper, much faster, and above all, you wouldn't have a fruit salad of assets, which was what we had in the hair not too long ago. And by fruit salad, I mean several artists working through the years, each one of them applying their own workflow. Everybody's at different levels of quality, of course, different minds, different ways of seeing the same problem. So, at the end of the day, fruit salad, right? And we wanted uniform quality. So for that, air libraries are a great solution. We also decreased the time of production of hairs. So, it was taking us 20 to 40 days to create one hairstyle per artist, okay? Right now, it's going from like 3 to 5, 7 days per hairstyle, which is great news, okay? So yeah, that was a major achievement. Cool. So hair libraries are just a thing. We love it. It's not just picking up a texture and putting it there. If you do that, like you need to actually see the scope. Gladly, we have some of the best artists in the world on hair working with us, so we managed to achieve this at the scope that we wanted. Now, on the shader side, there was plenty of changes as well. Some of them are very techy, very, very cool as well. I'm going to run through fast through some of them so you guys can understand the scope of what we're dealing with. But let's just understand, like, at bake time, so bake time is prior to runtime. Runtime is where the game runs. Bake time, we're preparing the asset to actually put it in the engine. At bake time, we calculate the custom normal and we store it per vertex. So each vertex gets a custom normal. That makes, in a practical sense, for those who are not too technical, it basically makes the card, the air card, not look like a card. So the normals help with the way the light reflects. We kind of do more smoke and mirrors on it and make it look not like a card by just baking it that way. Now, on the ambient occlusion, we store two baked ambient occlusions onto the color channels of the vertices as well. Now, each vertex on a mesh in any game has a color to it, okay? You might use it or not. Imagine in a car, you have a trunk. You can use it or not. It's up to you. It's not silly to use the car without using the trunk, of course, but if you have a luggage, you can put it there or in the back seat, wherever you want. Now, we decided to use this because it was free. The trunk was already there, so the vertex color was already there, and we just decided to store two ambient occlusions on it. These two ambient occlusions work this way. Light hair, like a blonde hair, obviously needs more shadowing, or less shadowing than a dark hair, right? And so we store two. The length of the card is now baked onto the last one, and that gives us a metric of where the card starts and ends, and allows a lot of cool things you're going to see on the videos I'm about to show. So, one last thing before we can start looking at videos is that, and this is really creative, total credit for the people, for the tools programmers. I personally had nothing to do with this. This was already at CIG when I joined. It's absolutely amazing. So, we have an hairstyle that was ready, that you can see over there. And we have a hair cap. An hair cap is basically a mesh on top of the character's head, which is invisible, transparent. It is just there. Sometimes we use it for shadowing. That thing has an UV. And so we project the hair, or where the hair starts, onto that UV, and gives us that image that you see on the middle, right? And so we now have a 2D space that relates to a 3D location. Meaning that if I want to have hair like mine, which is white on the sides and dark on the top, I could just paint this part and get it white on one side and then dark on the top. which is an insane advancement because cards normally are stacked on top of each other. So when an artist is placing cards, if you paint one card to make it white here, well, it's going to be stacked on top of the other and you're going to get spots all over the place and no control over it. So this allows us to give control. And what you see on the last image is the possible result. For example, now I can paint one side of my 2D representation of my 3D space and get this possible result, which is pretty amazing. So next video, we're going to take a look at our tools, okay? This is not the way it's going to be exposed to you guys in the character customizer. You will know more about that later, okay? This is the tools we use we are able to actually create the hairstyles. So let's take a look at this video. You have the full range, so you can go for full white. These are melanin ranges, so realistic ranges. Fully white up to black. Obviously, you can go red head as well. Get out of the way. You also have the dye feature where you can see all the things we talked about implemented. You can go a bit more wild on this. And this is why important the length of the card is stored in those vertexes. And obviously you can fade it as well as much as you do. So all the possible combinations between the realistic melanin ranges and the dye layer, okay? This is how the occlusion is working, so you can see these shadowings, creating more negative spaces, more structure to the hair. And if you look at the temporal line here, you can see how this pixel depth set helps us with the transitions as well. Cool. By the way, did I tell you these are actually game-ready assets, ready to go to PU? So now that we understand a bit better how the hair is working, that's why the boring part that I told you just before, you can examine these images with a bit more of an informed opinion. That is basically the example. Now, that's all very exciting, but we want to show you hairstyles that are actually in Star Engine and working. So that's the video we're going to take a look next, okay? Great, guys. So I can see by your feedback that you really enjoyed the dive, so I'm going to try and direct things that way next time. Pretty cool. Okay, yeah, these are game-ready assets as well. Now, like I promised you, we're trying to make this diverse and get away a little bit from this type of hairstyles you just see now, which is a bit more military. And for that, we'll have the next video. Now, it's important for you to understand if there's any 3D artists, character artists, air artists out there, you will know. Some of the hairstyles you're going to see next are some of the hardest things you can do in hair for games. In a practical sense, if you can do what is going to be shown next and render it at 60 frames per second on an MMO, you can do pretty much anything. Okay? It's our glimpse into the future of what type of diversity we want to achieve. We're not only going for this style, but just showing you that if this style is one of the directions, then the full range will come. I hope you enjoy.
Landing gear deployed. Landing complete.
Thank you, guys. So yeah, like I've been saying, these pictures you see here, they are all rendered as you see in real time, depending on the light conditions and stuff. But there is no tricks here. This is actually how it looks. And that's why we're really proud. Like I said, it doesn't end up here, okay? We're pushing this forward. This is just to replace the stuff that was there. I'm pretty sure you guys were tired. Nobody at CIG was happy with what we had. I can assure you that. Yeah. Especially as an air artist, right? So, but we finally arrived. Now, we've seen all this. What does this mean in a practical sense for you guys? It's the question you may have. Well, let me tell you really fast. We made over 75 hairstyles since like 6 months ago. On the last 6 months, we made 75 hairstyles. That is a lot. That was possible with all the changes we made. Yeah. Yeah. That is a great achievement. Now, we cannot hand them all to you right now. It's very simple. It's very simple. It doesn't end up here at the artist end, okay? After this, there's a tech art pass where they need to skin it, they need to make it work with hats, with goggles, with everything that needs to work, right? So it just takes, it's a process that takes time, but we wanted to have a certain amount, quantity that will be enough to place all the stuff that is there, give you enough variety for you to start, and that's what we're gonna see next. Now, it also tells you when are you getting it. So, as a last note, I'll leave you with this video, and next, Forrest will come here to talk about this stuff. So, let's take a look at this, guys. This is actually what you're getting. Into the PU.
Quantum drive is now on. Quantum drive is now off.
So before the year ends, you're all gonna get to enjoy these hairstyles. It's a pleasure to be here with you today, guys, and see you in the bus.
Another round of applause for Andre and getting new hairs into the game. I can't wait to put new hair on my character, I'll tell you that. And for Ian and his awesome character team and the amazing characters they showed us earlier. Absolutely fantastic. I'm gonna run through this, we don't have a lot of time. I'm gonna talk to you about character heads. We've talked about hair. We have talked about outfits. I'm gonna talk to you a little bit about the heads and our pipeline and getting us from the actors that we hire to do the photogrammetry
That was
all
an
the way to
asterisk.
the game
Oops.
characters. So we have a DNA pool, expansion, and customization I'm gonna be taking you through. We made a data-driven pipeline for adding new heads. So what is a DNA pool? DNA pool is just a bunch of heads that we put into the game. That way you can modify the ears, the nose, the chin, the mouth, and
That
you
looks
can
really
interpolate
freaking cool.
between all the different heads. A DNA pool. We want to expand the pool and allow for more selection and range. So we scanned 60 new heads for our DNA pool, 60 new heads. And we processed them internally. We also added customizable facial features, skin tones, complexion, makeup layer on top, revisited the eyes. These characters look new and they look great. All right, so our current pool, there's the 18 heads right there, but that wasn't enough. We need more. That is our new pool.
Wow. Holy shit, dude. They look really good too. These are the scans.
Very exciting.
So we're gonna get heads based on all
right now
of these.
in the PU, when you're playing, see that center row? You get 9 females and 9 males. And now we're gonna be getting all these characters. It's for Squadron and the Persistent Universe. How do we do it? Well, we partnered with Clear Angle over in Pinewood, London. And they had this thing called the Clear Angle Dorothy Scanner. The scanner improvements allows us to get shoots done in 4 weeks of sessions. Custom coded flash that just kind of does it automatically, all calibrated in seconds. To give you an idea, our old process for doing this took hours to calibrate.
All right, my dudes. Thanks for
This
being here. I'm
thing
gonna go catch
does
the
it in
rest of
seconds.
CitizenCon and spend
Talk
some
about
time with the
state-of-the-art.
family. We'll catch you later.
Average of 4 scan actions per day now. We used to be doing 1. What this means to you is we can get you characters faster. We can get you new heads faster. Polarized image data resulted in improved spec, blah, blah, blah. Those are awesome texture maps.
What are you guys still doing here?
You're supposed to go. This is the part where you hit subscribe and leave. We'll see you at the next one.
All right.